Hello, Professor. This is my critical and creative reflection. First, I'm going to talk about the reading from Module 3, Blockages Become Gifts. It's the short one. And I really enjoy this reading because I feel like it allows us to reflect on all of our struggles that we face as humans and everything that we go through. I feel like this reading shows us that there's a reason for it. The quote, "The impeded stream is the one that sings." I really resonated with that quote because just like everybody else, there's a lot of things in life that I don't want to do. And that's human nature. We all do stuff. We all have to do stuff that we don't want to do. And I really, while I was reading this, the two paragraphs, while I was reading that, I didn't read the quote before I read the reading. So while the author Carlos Gonzalez was talking about it, I was like, "What is this quote?" And then I saw that it was like right on top of the paper. And when I read it, I was like, wow, like that is so true. It was text to self, like I could put myself in those shoes. I see myself in that. The petted stream is the one that sings. The hardest journeys that you're gonna face through have the biggest consequences, that have the biggest outcomes, have the greatest outcomes. That's how I took that quote. The impeded stream would be all the hard things that we face, all the things that we don't want to do, the things that we think are hard, the things that we think are going to fail, the things that we think we're going to suck at, the things that we don't want to do. They're the most worthy. They're the most worthwhile. They are the stream that sings. They are going to pay off so much in your future. And I feel like that's so important because, like I said, there's a lot of stuff we don't want to do. I work and I do school, and I've been doing that since I was 16. And, sometimes I don't want to do it anymore, just like everybody else. But this reading just helped me realize that it's going to pay off in the end, even though it's tedious and I don't want to do it now. I know that I'm going to be grateful that I did it. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 5 years even, I'm going to be grateful that I did it, and I'm going to thank myself because, yes, it's hard now, but you gotta get it done, and it's gonna pay off so much in the end. So that's how I took that reading. And then the next reading is also from Module 3. It is Nature as Home. And this was my favorite reading, honestly. And I'm so sorry. That was my dog. She just moved my computer. Okay. And this was my favorite reading, like I said. I couldn't put myself in the author's shoes, Matthew Rubenstein, because I did not, like, I didn't go through the struggles that he went through. But I was able to envision myself in his shoes. I forgot which one that was. Was it Text to Self, Text to World Connections, Text to Text? I forgot, but I was able to envision myself in there. And he went through a lot. And I feel like the way that he wrote this with Nature as Home is beautiful. I think that nature is our home, and sometimes we forget it, especially nowadays with technology, how everything we do is technology based. All of our homework assignments, if the powers went off at schools, like I'm a first grade teacher, and the power went off at our school one day, and literally we just had to cancel class because everything we do is technology based. And we forget that nature is our home. We forget that we come from nature. We are born from nature and we will die from in nature, and we need to really be more connected to it. Not just that nature is your home, but it's it's always going to be there for us. Technology is not, but nature is. And I kind of took nature as the literal outside nature, and also nature in the way that we grew up. The way how I grew up, that's gonna be my home. Like it was his home. How he, even though he went to the military and he went to Afghanistan, at the end of the day, his home is his home. That's his nature. That's what he's used to. He went back to it, and I feel like his roots. I took like my roots, like all of our roots, as nature. My roots are, they're who I am. They're not going to stop me from what I want to do in life, but they're there. You know, without roots, I would have nothing. Without roots, a tree would not exist. Without roots, a tree would not be able to survive. And I feel like that's the same thing as us. We all have roots, and we all come from different places in the world, different families, different traditions, different cultures, different religions, and our roots are what grounds us. And we have to remember that even though we have these roots, we are able to spread and to go to different places, like how the author went to Afghanistan and how he explored. He realized that he liked where he came from. He liked his roots. He wants to stay there, and that is completely fine. But he was able to explore. And a lot of us, especially I feel like in my community and all of my friends and all people that I talk about, we're very scared to explore our outside of our roots. Like we were having a discussion in your class actually about nature as home, and one of the classmates was saying how she was scared to explore outside of her roots because it was so different, but she did it, and she found out that she didn't like it, and she came back to where she was comfortable, and that's fine, at least as she explored it. And I feel like I have to remember that in my everyday life, that nothing is going to come easy. I'm always going to be scared to do stuff, and that's perfectly fine. It's human nature, but I can't let the fear stop me from exploring. Oh, but I'm not used to this, but what if like this is completely different? It's okay. My roots are going to be there for me always. I know what I grew up with. I know where I'm from. I know who I am. Now let me go explore this other part that I think I would want to be. If I do and I loved it, great. If I do and I didn't love it, great. It's better to explore what I wanted to do instead of constantly be asking myself, oh, what if? So that's how I took nature as home. Thank you.